I never thought about running a business, definitely not a pizza shop. But it just happened to be that way. And then I wouldn't look back. Like, I got this opportunity. I was lucky enough to get this opportunity. A lot of people don't get that opportunity and end up working a corporate gig they don't like just to pay the bills.
Mm.
And I was lucky enough to have this opportunity and grab it. And I had no idea what I wanted to do after high school. Actually, I retract that statement. I wanted to do teaching, but I absolutely flunked my HSC. Like, my UAI was 37%.
You wanted to teach, but you didn't have anything to teach.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the marks to study it, sadly enough.
Oh, okay.
But I went to TAFE. I ended up studying tourism at TAFE. And this is something that gets me about high school. They put so much emphasis on the HSC, and a lot of parents put so much emphasis on the HSC. But there's so many different paths to get to uni. I'm not saying everybody has to get to uni. That doesn't define success. But if you want to go to uni, there's so many different paths. Like, I went to TAFE for a year. I ended up going to uni. I got a year's worth of exemptions because I went to TAFE. It prepared me for uni because obviously it's not as strict, and I ended up saving something like $18,000 because of the year's worth of exemptions. So, there's that path. I never knew that in high school. I found that out for myself when I went to TAFE. Like, oh, you can go to uni. And I finished TAFE. I said, oh, what do I do now? And then someone from my class said, I'm going to uni. I'm like, okay, I'll go to uni. I ended up at uni, and then, but I never envisioned myself running a business, definitely not a pizza shop. So...
Yeah, it's just crazy how that can kind of happen. And but I understand that, you had worked there casually, so you had some exposure at least to that type of business and how it worked. So it might have made sense out of any business that, that was the business for you to start. Sure. I was going to ask, how did you get to that valuation, that $35,000, $40,000? For someone out there thinking local business, how do you come up with a price?
So the old owner, I think he bought it for 25. And he just said, look, just put another 10 on top of that. It wasn't some formula.
Some complex. Right.
It just pretty much, he won an exit strategy. I was convenient. I was there. It worked for me. It worked for him. That was it.
Did you know the numbers at all, the revenues that it was bringing in?
No, nothing. I knew it wasn't making a loss. That's about the extent of what I knew.
So just by feel, you kind of knew the frequency with which business was coming in because you worked there. So you could see.
I was there for 2.5 years, and before that I was at another pizza shop in Gladesville. They shut down, and then I went here. And then actually before that, my first job when I was 15 was at Pizza Hut, Macquarie Centre.
There you go, man. So it is making sense now.
It just happened to fall into place.
What about the initial decision to go to Pizza Hut? Was that just because that was the thing to do? It was Pizza Hut, Domino's,
pretty much.
Subway. I worked at Subway myself. We'll get into the fast food, and then it's just kind of, it was random that you ended up in Pizza Hut, but then it made sense to just stay there because you knew you were comfortable with that fast food restaurant.
Well, my brother worked as a delivery driver, and it was an easy gig. Like at uni, people, I want to work retail, I want to do this, but what's wrong with hopping in the car, listening to your radio and delivering pizzas?
Yeah, man.
You get paid hourly, you get tips. It's so just non-stress related.
Yeah.
And it's flexible, especially with uni. So